What's going on, guys? Waco from Revolution here at the Jaeger-LeCoultre's boutique in Marina Bay Sands with none other than the CEO of the brand herself. Catherine, how are you?
Very good to see you and very happy to be here in Singapore with you.
Well, we're delighted to have you here. And tell us about this new boutique concept. It's really cool.
Yeah, well, we brought little of our manufacture, to Singapore and to Marina Bay Sands. At Jaeger-LeCoultres, we have 3 numbers: 180 crafts, 1,400 calibres, and 400 patents. And when you come in, just that. And when you come in the boutique here, you can dive into this universe, really discover and understand what calibre means and the world behind, this fantastic craftsmanship. You can dive into some of our most amazing know-hows and understand what sound making, precision is about at Jaeger-LeCoultres. You can also take watchmaking classes. Oh, yeah. We have a special room. We enlarged our boutique to welcome the collectors and the public at large for a discovery into the watchmaking world at Jaeger-LeCoultres. So it's really a special place about experience, discovery, curiosity, and learning.
The number 1,400 calibers is really impressive, but it's also important to understand that Jaeger has brought something to each of the world of complications every time it enters into it,
Yes.
Everything from the world's smallest watch movement, the 101, to the most complicated.
1929,
which you did back then, right?
Yes.
Incredible. and even to the most complicated movements in the world as well, which are wonderful to see here. There were 2 watches that were launched this year that have been big hits.
Yes.
Let's talk about these. So the one is the Duoface Tourbillon, and the other is the Duoface retrograde chronograph.
Yes, indeed.
Tell us a little bit about those, and tell us about why you think they've become so successful.
Well, first of all, it's Reverso. So, it's the icon of the Maison since 1931, a unique signature of a case, and of course, this rectangular shape that makes it interesting as a watchmaker, because it means that every single movement, when we do a tourbillon, when we do a chrono, has to be made to fit perfectly into that very unique shape. So, of course, we can do it, and we do it, and we take the challenge because we are a movement expert. And when we do the tourbillon, it is fit perfectly to this shape. And when we do a chrono, because a chrono is obviously round counters that suddenly have to be made in a rectangular shape for a movement that's, not traditionally in these dimensions. So it's an interesting challenge. And, we launched Chronos in Polaris this year as well. And here, it's a whole other movement, a whole other challenge, retrograde. And I think that's what makes it so unique, because when you have something that's so special, so differentiated, and so iconic, usually it's a very sought-after timepiece, which I can confirm has been the case for these models.
I have to say what's really cool about them is that they're easy to wear. You've made the proportions perfect for these watches as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is just 9.1 mm in terms of thickness.
Yes.
It's really impressive, right? To put a flying tourbillon double-sided watch. And it was interesting, cool too, to see that on the other side, you've got not time from a central pair of hands, but for a small sub-dial is at 12 o'clock, which is, an additional complication.
Exactly. You can see the tourbillon on both sides. The case follows this golden ratio that Reverso was based on in this Art Deco period. So indeed, you have this balance of proportion that's actually perfect. The challenge also is when you have 2 faces and a watch that rotates, it's to keep the thickness, manageable, which is the case in these 2 movements, even though they are, high complications.
Everyone's been talking about quiet luxury, right?
Yeah.
And I have a friend whose name is Brunello Cucinelli, who, I think his clothing has come to become very much an embodiment of quiet luxury. Mm-hmm. But he's a huge Jaeger fan. And it's interesting because I think when you talk about watches, Jaeger is one of those brands that really have incredible depth and a great authenticity, but is a little bit more discreet. Do you think that the Jaeger is well poised to be capture this quiet luxury market?
Yes, definitely. The discreet elegance, it comes from a very, very strong value of ours. We are born and raised in the Valley Jew in Switzerland. You've been there. And it's about work, it's about passion, it's about really the community that is really the heart of the manufacturer. And I think this means that we are not there to outshine, we are not there to be loud, we are there to deliver excellent movements, be creative, challenge ourselves, and that is the epitome of, quiet luxury, elegance, because when you are passionate about what you do and hard work, this is everything you have to put in the timepiece. It doesn't need to be extravagant, it's the detail that matters. And I think in a world like today, where surprises are all around the corner, going back to basic, going back to icons, going back to values that have shown over time, their worth and have been resilient and have reinterpreted themselves is very reassuring. And Reverso is definitely there for that. Yes.
Tell me a bit about how the allocation process works. Like who will get one?
Well, there is never enough. So first of all, what happens is that everybody calls you, and it's definitely something you have to be prepared for. But the objective is for us to not make our clients wait, and really to build up, and the manufacturer has been on the run in order for us to meet deadlines and answer the demands. But we have made sure to have one in our boutiques for display, so anyone coming in a JaegerLeCoultres boutique can try it on, can see how it fits, can see it in real, and that's super important.
I totally agree with you, and I think that's vital.
Yes.
I was recently in Venice, and then there's some things that I don't do because I know I'll feel bad afterwards, right? One of them is eat McDonald's. Sorry, McDonald's, because you feel the shame 20 minutes after. You're like, I can't believe I ate that.
It does feel good though.
Yeah, at the time. And then the other thing is to go to this watch brand's boutique without knowing anyone, because you just know it's going to be a terrible experience. So I saw this boutique, and I'm like, why not? We go in, and the guy wouldn't even open the door. And then when they did open the door finally, he's like, we have no watches for sale.
Really?
And I was like, wow, okay.
Well,
I guess things haven't changed, My question for you is, why is it important to have, even if a watch is got a 1-year waiting list, why is it important to have something that people can try on? And why is it important that you receive them with warmth and tell them the story about the watch?
Well, we come back to the boutique. I mean, definitely, if we have a boutique and enlarge it in Marina Bay Sands, it's to welcome, to have displays, to have watchmaking experience, to embark, our public into our world. And when you buy a timepiece like this Reverso, it's probably a special moment in your life. It may be a gift for someone you love. It may be, an engagement gift or a wedding gift. And I think what we owe to our clients and collectors is to try it on, and to see how it fits, and to project yourself into what you're committing to. And that's what we've been doing. And first and foremost, when the piece came, we made sure to have enough in order for the client to be able to try it on.
Fantastic. Now, so one guy that I know who was lucky enough to receive this is a gentleman named Lenny Kravitz.
Yes.
And I was very impressed, because when he was talking about the watch, he actually knew everything about the watch.
He is very knowledgeable.
So how did this partnership come about?
When you talk about, iconic, when you talk about elegance, when you talk about hard work and, long-lasting career, and he loves watches.
Wow.
And he's a very passionate, very, very sophisticated person that we felt a bond and a connection totally with. So he was with us in New York recently for the opening of our Reverso exhibition there.
Wow.
And the way he talks about his passion for watches, his relationship to watches through his dad is amazing. So yeah, we've been very lucky. We are very happy, and I think he's really embodying what Reverso is about, this sophisticated elegance and being different,
100%.
And daring to say so.
Well, it's cool when you announced a partnership, which was probably one that no one expected, right? My first reaction was, wow, that's perfect, because
that's
he's
great.
Yeah, because he's rebellious and different, he's certainly. But I mean, he's almost 60 years old. He's had an amazing contribution to contemporary music and culture. So he's a classic in his own way also, and he's incredibly elegant as a guy as well.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Bravo! Great partnership.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, Catherine, thank you for inviting me to this beautiful boutique.
Yeah, it's always good to see you.
Pleasure's mine.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Cheers.